Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mystic's Heart. This is Denise Iwaniw Francisco, fresh on the heels of a wonderful show with Delmarie Dullknife Bradfield about sacred objects. And I know some of you are finding it a little bit tricky to find the shows. And probably the easiest way to find the shows is to go over and like the page, Walk a Good Life, or Exploring Sacred, or Looking Deeper. Or of course, the Mystic's Heart. You've already done that. Here you are. And, this morning, once again, Del and I were talking about sacred objects and caring for the sacred. And our first take didn't want to take. Spirit reminds us that what we're talking about is nothing that should be messed around with, fooled around with, that it's serious business. And so we had to do a retake this morning of her show. So thank you all for your patience in allowing us to do another version of the show. Took us a few minutes to get going again, but as Del said, it's a wonderful reminder of the importance of what we're talking about. And so anyway, it was a fantastic show. If you go to Walk a Good Life, that fan page show, you will be able to see the replay of that show. And it was very good for any of you that have sacred objects, not just Native American objects, but Del talked about crystals and stones and all of that sort of thing. It would be really good to take a look at that video. Again, Walk a Good Life with Delmarie Dullknife Bradfield. And here we are this morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful day. Hey, Connie and Catherine and Sonia and Elise and Rob and Margaret. Jacqueline, good to see you all there. Yay. Good morning, Delgadillo. Good to see you. I always like to take a moment. Barbie, good morning. It is raining here in Michigan. Good morning, Virginia. It is. It's kind of interesting out there. Kind of mucky and cold, and watching the squirrels try to climb on some of the frozen limbs is kind of skating up and down the limbs on some of the oak trees out there. So it's a beautiful day. Take a deep breath. Take a really deep breath. As we're all gathering, I'm pretty excited to say that the temple within is expanding. And of course, the Tuesday show will continue. My Wednesday evening show will continue. And the Wednesday evening show will happen, maybe not every Wednesday night, but it'll happen as I am inspired to do a show on Wednesday evening. Looking Deeper with Sandy Herrick on the fourth Wednesday of every month will continue to happen. Del's show will continue to happen. And I'm really delighted because we are expanding into internet talk radio. I've always loved the format of talk radio. And so you will be able to listen to the broadcasts of some new shows that are coming up via YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, and of course here on Facebook. And it won't have audio or video. It will have audio, but it won't have video. And why is that? Because not everybody has the bandwidth to watch a video, but they'd really like to be able to hear the show without using a lot of bandwidth at home or wherever they happen to be. And plus, I really like the idea of internet radio, always have. I'm one of those like Ellery Queen radio mystery hour kids, when I was a teenager. Loved listening to the radio shows by my bed, all of those wonderful mystery theater types of things. So I am expanding into that territory, and you will receive notifications here on Facebook. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will automatically get notification that the shows through Spreaker are rolling. Yesterday, I was doing a testing, 1, 2, 3, and immediately received a note from Katie Battle, which was really fun. Really, really fun. Okay, video is a bit of an overkill for your format. Yeah. And Sonia is saying, yes, the live videos are killing my data, but so worth it. Yeah, so, bear with me as I do some of these things, because I'm hoping that even, my Tuesday morning show, I can stream through Spreaker, so you don't have to use your video every Tuesday morning. You can go onto YouTube and listen to me, or whatever it happens to be for you, Tumblr, Twitter, or even the radio gig right here through Facebook. Well, thank you for that, Margaret. And the great part about that is that then you can subscribe to the podcasts of a variety of shows. One of the new shows coming up, Sandra Herrick and I are going to do one called Unscripted once a month via the radio channel. So you can only imagine what that might be like. Ooh, on a Wednesday morning, unscripted, she and I. But there are lots and lots of things coming up, and I'm delighted to be here with all of you, keeping it fresh, keeping it convenient for all of you, and easy. This should be easy. It shouldn't be strenuous to try to find a video or see what's going on. So let's have a card for today. Let's do that. Oh, and by the way, I just want to thank those of you that have actually taken the time to go to Amazon.com or Lulu.com to do a review of my new book. I think about 3 or 4 of you, 5 of you have taken the time to do that. I really appreciate that. I was really tickled to be on there the other day, and I think there were 5 people who took the time to go over to Amazon and give a review. For those of us that write books, it's really important for people to review our work. And I know that it takes an extra 5 minutes out of your day or 10 minutes out of your day, but I really appreciate that, some of you have done that, and I know others of you will. So the card for today for each and every one of us is the eagle, Wombly. The eagle, the being that takes our prayers closest to the Tankashilas, the closest to Wakantanka. And Del was just talking about the eagle and the eagle feather. And why is the eagle feather so precious? Well, it is because they say, the old ones say, that the eagle takes our prayers furthest, closest to Wakantanka, the great mystery. So eagle also says, rise above things. Rise above things in our life. Rise above the cattiness, gossip, the mundane. Rise above your ego. Rise above. Be the best version of ourselves, the eagle says. Dana, rise above it. Soar above that, Dana. Right? Take a look. And, this controversy about whether prayers are significant here in the country, I try to stay away from political. People wonder why sometimes I don't put political things on my Facebook page. I can't. Why is that? It's because I run a 501c3 charity. And as a founder and a president of a 501c3 charity, I can't go blasting my political views all over Facebook, anywhere. I just can't, because I have the potential to lose Gathering Thunder Foundation. But of course, I have my own views in private conversation. And prayer is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. So for those of you that maybe think that your thoughts and prayers, maybe you can't get out, maybe you can't get out and protest, maybe you don't have any other means, or you have exhausted all of your means, right? You go to the voting poll, you do all of those sorts of things. You call your congressman, you call your senator, you do all of that type of a thing. Please don't neglect the prayers. Prayers are powerful. They change us first. They align us with our soul. So please don't. Some people have said to me, well, I'm just not going to pray anymore. I'm just not going to pray anymore. If my thoughts and my prayers really don't count. Well, they do count. And when you take your thoughts and prayers on the road and the rubber meets the road and you put your thoughts and prayers in action, on top of all of that, look out. Look out. And thoughts and prayers, it doesn't have to be like a rote prayer either. Every thought that we think is a prayer, right? So what thoughts are you thinking? Okay. All right. Lisa's saying we have an eagle living close by. Yeah. Good morning, Nicole. It's not about significance. It's about sufficiency in the face of contrary action. Absolutely. And continue to pray. Boy, if somebody says they're praying for me, I'm all happy schmappy about that. And I know prayer works. So prayers in action. Woo! That's right. When your prayer and the rubber meets the road, look out. All right. So don't give up. Those of you that have emailed me and said, I'm just not, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that. All right. Continue with your prayers and your thoughts and all of that kind of a thing. All right. Here we go. Let's begin. Virginia. That is so sad to stop praying. Yeah. When people send me, notes and emails and what do I think about that? Again, I have to limit my political opinions because I run a nonprofit corporation and I will not jeopardize Gathering Thunder Foundation for, the voice of my opinion. But I can talk about, please don't give up on prayer. Yeah. All right. Virginia, this one is for you. Virginia, it is the hippogriff. The hippogriff in mythology represents chivalry. I am married to a very chivalrous man. My husband, Todd, is, and thank you, Janice Francisco, if you are listening, because you did a really great job of raising a man who is, he's a manly man and he is a gentleman. This is about chivalry. It's about bravery. And it says, do not allow your dreams to die. Do not allow your dreams to die, Virginia. Yours count. And I'm going to read this to everybody. Rather than continue to rescue others, perhaps it is time to rescue yourself. Your hopes, your passions, and your peace of mind are every bit as important as everybody else's, Virginia. Pay attention to your needs, to your desires, to your dreams. It's a great, good thing to help other people. We cannot do it for them. This morning, Todd was on the phone with Amantha Murphy. Oh my God, at the crack of dawn over here. I heard some chuckling going on and he was talking with Amantha. And one of Amantha's teachings is when somebody says to you that they've got a problem and you can empathize with the problem, and then you notice that the same problem keeps coming up, the same problem keeps being revealed. Amantha says what we should say to somebody is, so what are you going to do about that? What is your plan for taking care of that? It is not our job to rescue everybody. It is not our job to do their job, right? So Virginia, love yourself, nurture yourself. Hey, Mini Kansman, be there for yourself. And if there are people in your lives that they're sitting on the pity pot, as I call it, and they're getting a really nice ring around their arse, ask them what they're going to do about getting off the pity pot. So what is your plan? What are you going to do about that? Thank you, Amantha, for that teaching. Oh, goodness. Hey, Mini Kansman. Mini Kansman and I are taking a group of, 30 people to Italy and Greece. I can hardly wait. And I know those of you that are listening right now, you're welcome, Virginia. It's not easy to do that either, by the way, because you're not normally a very popular person when you ask somebody that question. So what are you going to do about that? What is your plan to take care of that? So anyway, we are going to Italy and Greece. And this is our 10th year together at Mystic Travels, Minnie and I. And so we are friends and we collaborate, Eco Balance and the Temple Within. And we take people on amazing journeys. Oh, Minnie, by the way, I've already got people saying to me, so are you and Minnie ever going to take us to Scandinavia? Apparently we've got some Viking lovers in our midst, Minnie. And so Denmark and Norway and all of that, we are being asked to consider that. So, all right, let's go. Sonia Davis, you beautiful thing, you. Sonia, it's the scarab. Ancient Egypt calls. The scarab is the transformer. It's the transformer. When we see the scarab in Egyptian teachings, it's about transformation of life and how life transforms. We're always shifting and changing. And sometimes we forget to celebrate all of the changes that we have walked through in our life. The scarab says, celebrate your life. I know, Sonia, that you tend to be really hard on yourself. You're hard on yourself. To which I say to you, Sonia, celebrate your life. Celebrate your life. Celebrate every ounce of your life. Everything. Because it has made you the woman that you are. You have positively impacted so many people, and you don't even know it. Your four-legged babies that I first got to meet several years ago in Oxford have impacted people. Celebrate your life. Celebrate your life, Sonia. I celebrate your life. I celebrate your life. All right, Jacqueline Coster. Jacqueline, it is Shunkmani Tu Tonka, the wolf. The wolf. Whenever wolf crops up, it's a reminder that you are always teaching. We are always teaching by our behavior, by the way we are in the world, our interactions. What are you teaching? It also means when we see the wolf, perhaps it's time to step into a leadership or a teaching role. So whatever this means for you today in this bit of inspiration, the wolf spirit, Shunkmani Tu Tonka wolf spirit is with you, Jacqueline. Celebrate that you are a teacher. Teach the children well. Billy Mills, there's a great quote. My life is a gift from the Creator. What I do with my life is my gift back to the Creator. So teach the children well, step into your role as teacher, understand that. And teachers don't have to just be old people, by the way. There's some pretty magnificent teachers that are quite young in years, like you. Okay. Hey, Nicole Werner. Good morning, Marilyn Lewis. You know what I love about Tuesdays as well? Is that I feel like I'm at the Great Lakes Retreat with everybody that I don't get to see because I'm always at Sundance during that time of the year anymore. So I love being here on Tuesdays. Good stuff. Hey, Holly Hagan. Good to see you. All right. Rob. Oh, Rob. Here's a good one. Metatron. Something to think about. That's right. Think about that. You're an old soul, Jacqueline. Teaching, teaching, teaching. Some people are automatically like put out it. Some people are natural born leaders. And so they teach by virtue of being a natural born leader. And there you have it. There are a lot of ways to teach. It doesn't always have to be arcane or esoteric teachings. Sometimes we teach just by being who we are, right? All right, Rob. Metatron, Enoch, Enochian. There, I think we can see it better this way. Enochian teachings, the keys of Enoch. Boy, interesting, Rob, I have to tell you, while I'm holding this here and I said the words, the keys of Enoch, it's like I'm listening to old skeleton keys jingling around. Metatron. This is a time for advanced esoteric learning and transformation. And of course, Metatron represents the tree of life, the Kabbalah. Hey, Julie Hedges. Absolutely, I will. Julie. Oh, my goodness. I love Tuesday mornings. It's great fun. Connie Vaughter. Connie. you sweet thing. It's the Thriae. Connie, this particular teaching comes from Greece, ancient Greece. Those of you that are going with Minnie and I to Italy and Greece, a lot of the cards in the mythology deck talk about the mythology of Greece, Roman mythology, and Mediterranean regions. And this is one of those. The Thriae represents our intuition, our intuitive channels. The Thriae represents the seer, kind of like the oracles at Delphi. So Connie, this is a card that says, trust your intuition, trust what you know to be true. Do not let doubt settle in or set in. Trust what your intuition and your charismatic gifts are revealing to you at this time. There you go. Connie Vodder is the host of Spiritual Mysteries of Life, and she does touch on this subject. You can find her at the fan book or the fan page by that name, Spiritual Mysteries of Life. Yeah. So pay attention, Connie. You got it going on. Okay, you are welcome, Rob. Hey, Polly Joe. Morning. Delgadillo over there on the West Coast by the ocean. Good to have you in the house this morning. Oh, it is the Phoenix. It is the Phoenix. So I'm going to say perhaps, Delgadillo, that you are one of those women, one of those persons that has had to rise from the ashes more than once. We do that in our lifetime, don't we? We have those deaths without dying. We have those passages, those initiations. The Phoenix says, you know what? Spirit knows and honors all of the transitions, all of the fires that you have walked through in this lifetime. Maybe you should consider honoring all of the fires that you have walked through, all of the times that you have had to transform, all of those times that you have been rendered to your knees so that you could stand up once again. Some people stay on their knees. Others say, okay, well, we're gonna do this again. And what did I learn from being on my knees? What did I learn from that experience? You are one of those women, and the Phoenix, the energy of the Phoenix honors that. And so that's marvelous. Thank you. Good to be able to tune in. And yes, many times. Yeah. Some people have the Phoenix experience and they lie in a pile of ashes for a while, and then they, recoagulate, they come back to life. They wake up again. And there are those that just stay in a heap for whatever reason, So it's not that we don't, we can't stay in a heap. Sometimes I think particularly here in the West, like when it comes to grief, typically when somebody dies is when we find ourselves on our knees, somebody that we love who has crossed over. And in this country, I don't think that we take enough time to grieve, to be in the ashes before we rise again. So we do have to take time in the ashes. I'm not saying that we don't. We do need to do that, because rising too quickly has its own set of challenges, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yes, Elise, you may have a card. In fact, we'll do that right now. How's that? It's the Coyote, Elise. Tomorrow night on my show, Exploring Sacred, we're going to be talking about the fact that our teachers come in many forms. And that is the teaching of the Coyote. Our teachers come in many forms. And they are not all lilacs and daisies. Sometimes our greatest teachers are our greatest hardships, our most sorrowful experiences. Sometimes our harshest experiences are our greatest teachers. When the coyote shows up, even here at my home in Lowell, in the Enchanted Forest, every so often, Todd and I will hear a pack of coyotes howling. And it always brings to mind, I always say to myself, Dana, what are you supposed to be learning right now? What are you supposed to be paying attention to right now? What teachings are being brought to you at this time? What am I missing? So the coyote is saying to you, you are learning lessons right now. Lessons are being brought to you, Elise. They're not always brought in beautiful ways. It doesn't always come with a bouquet of roses. But what are we to learn at any given moment in any given situation is the message of the coyote. It is my very favorite card in the totem animal deck. My very favorite card. Yeah, which is now a bestseller on Amazon. I was pretty happy to see that. And I think it's for that reason, because as you know, Dell and I were discussing this morning, everything in the world is sacred. Everything. And particularly for many of us, the animals in the plant kingdom are really very sacred. So good morning, Daisy. Katie Battle. Hey, Pamela Urbanski. Good to see you in the house. Katie Battle. Thank you, Katie, for while I was trying with my new radio show yesterday. Oh, goodness. Immediately got a text message from Katie saying, hey, I can hear your radio show on YouTube. Thank you for that, Katie. That's what I love about you. Well, there are many things I love about you, but the fact that you were right there letting me know that my testing of my new radio show is going so well, I thoroughly appreciate that. You are welcome, Elise. Oh, hey. I forgot to tell you, Elise, we had your pasties. And I was raised by two Yoopers from Newberry, Michigan. Those were the best pasties I have ever had in my life. Todd had never had one that was made from scratch. You could be like the pasty lady. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal, Elise. Thank you for that. All right, Nicole Werner. It is the Archangel Chamuel. Chamuel represents the energy or the teaching about love. About love. Chamuel asks the question, how do you show love? How do you express love? I cannot tell you how many people say to me, why do you do your Tuesday morning show? You do this, you don't charge for it. You're just out there, giving people a bit of, something to look forward to or something to ponder. Why do you do that? I don't get it. Well, because it's one of the ways that I can express my love here on the earth plane. It's one of the ways I can express my love. There are many ways of expressing our love. Chamuel asked the question, Nicole, how do you express your love? And do you also express that love to yourself? Chamuel also says, if there is old love, old memories of love, if there is hurtful love that has not yet been resolved, it is time to honor those, right? And begin the process or continue the process of healing love. Love comes in so many forms and in so many ways, and it is amazing how we can hold on to the ways in which we have experienced love, or we're told love was supposed to be, right? It's all about love. How do you express it? How do you share it with yourself and others? Does your love need some work? Now's the time. It's all about love. Hey, Pamela. Oh, thank you, Holly. And I appreciate all of you too. That's part of the reason that I do this. But I hear it all the time. What are you doing? I'll get emails. You know, you could be blah, blah. No, I'm right where I need to be doing what I'm doing. And I feel the love coming back. Nikki Jorgensen, speaking of the love coming back. Okay, Nikki, this one is for you. Those of you born under the sign of Taurus, like my hubby, Todd, Asmodel is part of your angelic team. Nikki, Asmodel says, stay the course. Stay the course. Stay on your path. Sometimes we can feel knocked off of our path for a variety of reasons, Nikki. Do not pay attention to the gossip or the ill will of others, Nikki. Let that go. You keep shining your light. You keep doing what you are doing. Keep shining your love and your light in exactly the way that you are doing it, despite any winds, blustery winds of people's thoughts and opinions. It's their thoughts and opinions. We all, you know, we have an opportunity to either engage in those thoughts or opinions. You know, my dad, the Sarge, he had a wonderful little ditty about opinions being like a certain part of the human anatomy. And that both of those things stink, right? And so, yeah, being raised as an Army brat, I have all kinds of really good ones. I should probably do a book of Sarge-isms. So let it go, Nikki, and you keep doing what you do. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, let me have a little look-see. Pamela. This one is for you, Pamela. Oh, it's the Griffin. The Griffin. The legend of the Griffin comes to us from ancient Greece. The Griffin itself, the story of the Griffin, represents death-defying bravery. The message of the Griffin, the inspiration of the Griffin is this: be brave, Pamela. Whatever is going on right now for you, be brave. Be bold. Take the leap of faith. Be brave, be bold, take the leap of faith. Spirit's got your back. Your guardian angels, creator, your higher self, your soul self. Be brave, be bold. Love that. Oh, Sarge says, yeah, my dad had some of the most amazing, Sarge says, and that's the truth, because if he said it, you better pay attention to what he was saying. Oh, goodness, fun. Thank you, everybody, for sharing in that chuckle with me. Oh, you are welcome, Pamela. All right, Margaret. And thank you, everybody, for liking and sharing the show. I appreciate that. Liking and sharing. Because then we can reach somebody maybe that needs a little inspiration for their Tuesday. Margaret Spooner. This one is for you. Let me go to the top here. All right. Okay, Margaret, it is the teaching of the unicorn. The unicorn. The unicorn represents the Christ light. It represents divine light, our inner light. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. We're talking about the unicorn light. Let your light shine, Margaret. No more dimming it for people. Sometimes we will dim our light for the comfort of other people, for the ignorance, to accommodate the ignorance of other people. There are a lot of reasons why sometimes we just dim our light. Unicorn says, no, 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 no dimming your light. Let your light shine, Margaret. It is needed just as brilliantly as you are able to shine it. Shine your light. Do a little journeying with the unicorn. Oftentimes we see the unicorn in medieval tapestries. It represents the Christ consciousness, the Christ light. Yeah. Okay, Nikki is saying, thank you. There was an incident this week and I woke up Sunday with an epiphany. What are you doing? And I had to make a decision yesterday that was right for me. So thank you for affirming. Yeah, just everybody everybody has their own life, and we have a choice to let them interject into our life because they're a positive influence or not. So good for you for taking that pathway. Always be respectful of yourself and others. Okay, Barbie Cornell. Barbie. Beautiful Barbie. It's the Archangel Salaphiel. Salaphiel is the angel of prayer, the octaves of prayer. And Salaphiel says, thank you for the prayers that you make on behalf of others. And Barbie, thank you for being the answer to a prayer for those who need you. Hey, Valerie. Thank you for being the answer to a prayer, and thank you for praying. Prayers are potent. Prayers are brilliant because, again, prayers begin within us. Although, let me just say this about prayer. Here's an example. Years ago, my dear friend Darlene, her father crossed over, I think 4 or 5 years ago. And Darlene's mom asked me if I would lead the rosary at the funeral home. And well, of course, I would do that. So you all know me. I take every opportunity to educate that I can. And so here I was in a jam-packed funeral home full of elderly Roman Catholics, wall to wall. And Darlene, if you happen to be listening, you can chime in on this one. Well, what I did was I took that moment to share with everybody the origins of the rosary and how it was presented to Father Dominic by the Archangel Saint Gabriel and the evolution of the rosary. And then I led everyone in the rosary for Darlene's dad. When I was done, it was a magnificent love fest between me and many, many dozens of elderly Catholics who said it was the first time that they actually said the rosary and paid attention to the words. And when they said it with vigor, and they said it from the heart. There is a difference between just, reading a prayer, whether it's in my book, Prayers and Incantations to the Light, or the rosary, or whatever it is. Are you adding the alchemy of your heart? Are you giving it that oomph? If we just do it rote because these are the words we're supposed to say, that doesn't have quite the same vim and vigor as really expressing. At the funeral, then, the Monsignor asked me if I would get up and do some readings at the funeral at the Catholic Church there in Sparta, Holy Family. And I did. I said, absolutely, I'll get up and do the readings for Mr. Simon. I'd be happy to do that. And when I was done, Monsignor came over and he said to me, I've never had anybody do the readings like that. I said, what do you mean by that, Monsignor? And he said, you actually said them, read them in a way that made people think about what you were saying. You just didn't get up there and read. Will you come back here and teach our readers here at the church how to read? So the reason that I say that is that prayers, the potency of prayers, there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot that goes on. So that's my little infomercial for prayers. Oh, goodness. I don't even know why I just get on these rolls. Holly. Holly, holly. It is the teaching of the Ouroboros. Ooh, I love this one. Yes, Jocelyn, the prayers are powerful. And if you just say them, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm done. Not quite as much as Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us is way better than Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Oh, that decade is done, right? So yeah, how do you do it? All right. I'm done with my infomercial about prayer for this morning anyway. Okay, this one for you, my dear, is the Ouroboros. Holly, a cycle is complete. A cycle is coming to a closing. Celebrate the wrapping up of a cycle. You know what it is. And celebrate the next, turning the page. A cycle is complete. It can be a cycle with regard to a thought, a system of thought. You know what I'm talking about. Cycle is complete. Celebrate it. Congratulations. Congratulations. Margaret saying, I love your stories. Well, thank you for that. Not everybody appreciates my stories. Because sometimes I kind of roll a little bit, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. And then it encourages me, so I'm sorry, everybody. She just encouraged me to tell more stories. All right. Jocelyn. Hey, Angie, are you down in Key West? Angie, are you in Key West on vacation and you're typing in this morning? Dang, how cool is that? Wow. All right, Jocelyn. Katie is saying, I love saying the rosary. Yeah, I mean, if you say it, it's quite potent. And another gift from the Archangel Saint Gabriel. Okay. All right, Jocelyn, back on track I go. Okay, Jocelyn. It's the cricket. Jocelyn. Angie is sitting on the beach. Is it sunshiny down in Key West? Angie, share that with us that are up here cold in Michigan, will you? Jocelyn, it is the cricket. You are being called to sing sacred songs. Get out your drum and sing. You know what's interesting is I'm saying this to you. What appears on my inner screen is you singing sacred songs for Grandmother Earth. Yes. Singing songs for Grandmother Earth, Jocelyn. And it doesn't have to be a song that anyone taught you. Make up your own song for Grandmother Earth. Maybe you do have some that you're familiar with, but songs for Grandmother Earth. Drumming and singing. That is your homework should you choose to engage in it. Wow. It's very clear for me to see that. Angie. Angie, this one is for you and your hubby, Bruce. Such a cute pair. It's the angel Yehudia. Yeah. On this day, I honor my birth and my purpose for being, which is love. This is a card that says, remember, on the day that you were conceived, on the day that you were born, the universe jumped for joy. Celebrate your life. And I know that you're down there, both of you celebrating your lives in Key West. And I love watching and watching the little video clips of both of you and also seeing the photos. So thank you for that. Hey, Lily. Oh, goodness. How I love Tuesdays. Good morning, Lily. Okay, good. Thank you for that, Jocelyn, because it feels very, very needed. It feels very needed. All right, this one is for Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen, this is for you. Oh. One of my favorites by the artist known as David Fix. It is the Sunface Kachina. Stand in the light, Mary Ellen. I think you maybe got this one last week or the week before. Stand in the light. Continue to stand in the light. Everybody has their own way of wording what that is, standing in the light of God, standing in the light of the Buddha, standing in the light of Jesus, standing in the light of the universe. Whatever that is for you, standing in your own light, standing in who you are, standing in your wisdom. There it is. Stand in your wisdom. Stand in your light. Stand in your joy. Stand in the light. Radiate the light. Continue, Mary Ellen, to radiate the light. The light is in here. It is in here. Heart chakra, high heart. And it exudes, it radiates out from the inner temple, outward. Stand in the light. Stand in the light of who you truly are. Your thoughts, your opinions, your stories, they matter, Mary Ellen, they matter. Stand in the light of who you are. And if you're feeling like a little bit of a shriveled up, because we can feel shriveled up, like a shriveled up flower needs a little water, invite the sunlight. S-U-N, light, or S-O-N, light, whatever that is for you, the goddess. Invite the light in and let it connect with the light within yourself. That's how it works. What we engage in outside of us resonates and connects with what is going on inside of us. So we love your light. Keep on sharing it. All right. Lily. I'm just scrolling, everybody. Barbie, would Estelle like to have a card this morning? All right, Janice Francisco. This one is for you. Jan Francisco. Oh, here's one that doesn't come up often. From the Mysteries of Ancient Egypt. It is the desert. It is the desert card. The desert card, the teaching of the desert in the Egyptian Book of the Dead says this: there are times in our life when we find ourselves going out on a journey, spiritual journey, soul journey, that only we can take. That only we can take. And there are times on our journeys when we know that we are journeying and we feel as though we have been abandoned. We have been abandoned. The teaching of the desert card says this: although there are times in our lives where we may feel abandoned on the journey, or we can only do this on our own, because there are times when we can't pile our friends, along in the car and say, hey, we're going together. We have to do it on our own. Everything that we need, everyone that we need, is contained within us. Spirit may not be holding our hand in a physical sense during those times in our lives, but Spirit will hold our hand internally. So I'm hoping that this is making sense to you, Jan. Sometimes we have to take the trip alone when we do Humblecha. You know, this morning on Del Marie's show, she was saying that the protocol in the Lakota way to receive a chanupa is to go through the Hamblecha. And I've been through Hamblecha. I'll be going through Hamblecha again. You don't take your friends with you on Hamblecha, on the vision quest. Doesn't have to be a Lakota vision quest. You know, lots of ways that we spend the time in the desert. But when I am on Hamblecha vision quest, I am there with my chanupa. I am there with all the prayer flags, and I know that Creator is with me. So I'm just going to leave that there. All right, Stella. This one is for you, Stella. Oh, this is perfect, Barbie. It's the otter for your mom. It's all about playfulness. This card says, make sure that you take time to play, to do something fun. I loved the birthday photos that you had, you and your mom out there in her 90s. You two were having so much fun. You could see the joy on her face and the joy on your face and your siblings. It's a card that says, remember to play. Play is also sacred, I believe. I believe. All right. Lily. It's the crow. The crow. You're welcome, Janice. Can't wait until dinner on Monday. Hula hands. How fun will that be? Okay. It's the crow. And so what I would say about this for you, Lily, is that people underestimate you. People underestimate you because you are so generous of heart and spirit and kind. What people don't see about you is your courage, your bravery, and your warrior spirit. This card represents your warrior spirit, your bravery, and your courage, right? To help people find the light in a situation, helping people get to healing, maybe or maybe not. It represents the courage that it takes to reveal, to pull the curtain back. Who is that man behind the curtain? Who's going to pull the curtain back? So, lots of love to you, Lily. The warrioress. The peaceful warrioress. All right. Kelly Spencer. KD is in the house. Last night, God, I think it was probably, I don't know, 9:30. I was on the phone with Sandy Herrick. And we were talking about warrior women in our lives. And she said something, well, let's not forget Kelly out on the front of her Viking ship with her Viking horn. Oh my God. We roared. We roared. So everybody, if you can imagine, over the Christmas holidays, Kelly and Lily were here, and a whole great big group of us went sledding at a place called Cannonsburg Ski Lodge, not too far from my home. And for those of you that don't know, Kelly is Norwegian. So she's like this Norse woman. Now, if you can imagine all of us adults, there was a great big group of us, and a lot of, my children and their significant others standing at the top of the hill we all were. And before we got on our inner tubes to slide down this extraordinary hill, there stood Kelly doing the Viking call with her Viking horn. And, I would say that by the end of the day, I can't tell you how many people told us that we were the funnest people on the snow hill that day at Cannonsburg. Hundreds of little kids and teenagers having fun, but the funnest group on that hill that day was our group, led by the Norse woman herself and her imaginary Viking horn, Kelly Spencer. Funnier than heck. Anyway, Kelly, it's the White Buffalo Calf woman, and it's all about balance. Walking in balance with life, giving and receiving in equal measure. Giving and receiving in equal measure. White Buffalo Calf Woman. And Kelly, I really feel as though you need to do some journey work with her. Meditation journey work with her. She has some things to teach you and tell you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I just wish somebody would have videotaped. We had little snippets of it, but talk about funny. Lady Hawk. Chetawian. Lady Hawk. Oh, it's Tatanka, the spirit of the buffalo. The buffalo has a big heart. Lady Hawk, down there in the Lone Star State of Tejas, has a big heart. Buffalo says, pay attention to your heart and love your heart. Buffalo asks the question, Tatanka asks the question, when was the last time that you just sat for a moment and felt your heart? Loved your heart. Our heart does a whole lot for us each and every day. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Lady Hawk, when was the last time that you just sat with your heart, felt your heart beat, breathed into your heart and loved your heart, informed your heart? Just a little message from Tatanka. Okay. Daisy. I love that name, Daisy, especially with a Z. That is just a great name. Daisy. Daisy, this one is for you. Oh, it's the angel Thoth. 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 Daisy, this is a card that says, you're really good at taking care of everybody else's needs. Now it's time to take care of yours. You always make sure everybody has what they need to eat, to be healthy, to be happy, nourished. Thoth says, it's time to nourish yourself. It is time to nourish yourself. And we can ask the angels for help with this. You know, some people believe that angels are extraterrestrial beings and that, you know, pop in and out of the ultra-terrestrial realms for us and with us. There are lots of ways of thinking about the angels. Some believe that they have wings. Others believe that they're beings without wings. But in our humanness over time, explaining the way that they come to us, they needed to have wings. You know, there's an evolution of understanding. The ancient teachings don't change. It's our ability to understand them that changes, you know, with time. And when we call upon the angels by name because of the potency of words. So if we're needing help providing nutrition for ourselves on all levels, we can call upon the angel Thoth. Yeah, so I guess that's what I want to say about that. Hey, Nancy. All right, Julie Hedges. Oh, Jules. It is Iktomi, the spider. Iktomi asks the question, what is being woven in your life and what are you weaving? Is it time to reweave? Is it time to unweave and weave again? What are you weaving? Is something new being woven in your life? Spider asks the question, pay attention to your weave. What you are weaving, what you are unraveling to reweave. Pay attention to the weave. I love Iktom. I love Iktom. I wear her on my hand. I have my Iktomi ring on. Maybe you can see it. Iktomi, spider. Yep. Pay attention to the weave. Nancy, this one is for you. And anybody that needs a card, please write a little note in the chat for me because I don't want to miss any of you and because it's just too much fun. And where can you get these cards? DeniseIwana.com. Oh, little Merlin. Little Merlin. Come here, little man. Come here. Here's the Mermster. And he's going to help me pick a card for Jane and for Nancy. Merlin is an old man. He is 15. And he is feisty, as you can see today. Got a lot of fight in him today. Come here, Gabes. Come on. And this is Gabriel James. This is Gabriel James. Yep, this is the Gabes. He is a Jack Russell Terrier, West Highland Terrier mix. He has an angel's name because that's what he wanted to be named, is after the Archangel Saint Gabriel. And he also informed me that he would like the name James for a middle name. So this is my Gaby. All right, Nancy. The air dragon is here for you, Nancy. The air dragon. And the air dragon asks the question, what are you creating with your thoughts? Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your words. What are you creating with your thoughts? Every time we have a thought, we are giving birth to a mighty cherubim, a child of the mind. So pay attention to your thoughts. Tracy Civic, our host of From Star to Stone, and she and Mervyn will be at the School of Sacred Studies to teach about crystals and stones in August. And all of those are on DeniseIwaniw.com on the classes page. The classes are there. Trace. Kamael. Kamael. Tracy, this is what Kamael says. Be confident in who you are and your ability to make decisions for yourself. You did not come here to be of service or the servitude to other people's ideas of who you're supposed to be or how you're supposed to be. Kamael says, be confident in who you are and walk that way. Be confident in who you are. There you go. All right. I do get sidetracked easily, especially with the doglets in the room. Okay. Marilyn. Marilyn. Oh, here's the teaching of the Swan Maiden. What I love about Tuesday mornings is that really these are kind of like flashcards of information. So sometimes I feel like a teacher with the flashcards. 2 + 2 = 4, right? Good morning, Aaron Camacho. Marilyn, the Swan Maiden says this: you are divinely protected. You are a warrior of the light, a defender of the light. Continue to walk in the light. And you are divinely protected. The Swan Maiden comes to us from the mythology of Scandinavia. So our relatives from the Scandinavian countries would think of the Swan Maiden as a Valkyrie shield maiden. Valkyrie shield maiden. In the Lakota tradition, we would say that the white swan represents Ptahsawian, the white buffalo calf woman. Sometimes Ptahsawi represents or is represented or comes to us in the form of the white swan. So mythology is really quite spectacular. Ah, Jane. Good morning, Jane. Hello, Keshni. All right, Jane, this one is for you. Jane Joubert. I know there's nothing like dogs. And these dogs of mine, oh my, combined with my horses, lordy, lordy, what a bunch they are. Jane, it's the Firebird. I love the Firebird teaching. The teaching of the Firebird, which, by the way, comes to us from ancient Greece, is this: do not be afraid, be alive. Do not be afraid, be alive. Sometimes we can forget in being our human self that we are eternal beings, changing only in thought and form throughout the ages, as they say. And sometimes in our humanness, we can forget that life is an adventure. It is a journey. The Firebird says, don't be afraid, be alive. Sometimes people are afraid to do things because maybe they're afraid of what their neighbors will think. Maybe they're afraid that they won't be good at it. Maybe you'd like to take dance lessons, ballroom dancing. But gee, you know, what will everybody else think if they've been taking ballroom dancing for 10 years and they're, you know, Grace Kelly and Fred Astaire across the floor, and maybe I think I'm going to look like an albatross. The Firebird says, be alive. Don't be afraid. Go try ballroom dancing. Go do that. Don't be afraid, Jane. Be alive. There you go. Be alive. Okay, Keshni. This one is for you. A little card of inspiration for you. Okay, well, it's the teaching of the water dragon from our friends in the UK, the United Kingdom, the water dragon. Keshne, the message of the water dragon is this: pay attention to your intuition and your intuitive senses at this time, because they are very heightened at this time. You are very sensitive at this time. Pay attention to what your intuition, your gut feeling is telling you, says the water dragon. Dragons also represent portals. A lot of people don't know that. The mythology of dragon also represents a portal. So sometimes people can feel as though they're being swallowed up by a dragon. They're being swallowed up by their emotions, by their intuition. And sometimes we are swallowed into an emotional state in order to pass through that state. It is a portal to our deep feelings, to our deep psyche, to really get in there and do some healing work. For you, I feel as though I want to say to you, pay attention to your intuition. What is your gut feeling telling you right now? And act upon what your gut is feeling at this time. Water dragon. Aaron Camacho. Hey, Aaron, everybody. Our wonderful Aaron is running for Senate in Wisconsin. I would love to be able to address her as Senator Camacho. And so without being political, because I can't, we talked about that earlier with my foundation and all. Aaron, would you be so kind as perhaps to share your website, your Camacho for Senator website there on the thread? And people can check it out for themselves. And okay, so the bit of inspiration coming to you today. You are welcome, Keshne. Very important. Pay attention to your intuition. Trust it. So Aaron, the angel Israfel has this allegory that goes with this particular angelic being. The master is the one who is awake. The master is the one who is awake. The master is also the one oftentimes that awakens others, that wakes other people up. That, my love, is part of what you have come here to do, is to wake others up. A wise Coptic master once said, a master is the one who is awake, and also the one who helps to awaken others to their own self-mastery. All right. Absolutely want to mention it. I think it's fabulous. Everybody's shining their light in so many wonderful ways. He hane washte, Betty. Gitchi Migwich for being here with us this morning. My friend Betty is from the Turtle Mountain Reservation. Many of you have met her through the Native American Education Program here in West Michigan. Betty and I are good friends. And as you know, we are running an event right now for Mino Ode Camp. And we're kind of getting ready to wrap that up, aren't we, Betty? This one is for you, Betty. Oh, thank you for that, Logan. Very nice. Thank you. Betty, this one is for you. Mino Ode Camp, Good Heart Camp and Gathering is a healing experience. It's a sacred gathering in northern Michigan that we are raising money for people to do fasting and healing with prayer and ceremony in the Ojibwe tradition or the Anishinaabe tradition. Betty, maybe you can explain that better in the chat. But very important work for people to heal from trauma, from abuse in a traditional Native American way, based on the ceremonies of their tradition. So those of you that have purchased from the event, thank you for that. All right, so having said all of that, Betty is Hehaka. Hehaka, the elk, Betty. And we know that the elk has a morning song that says, today is a brand new day. Today is a brand new day. And also Hehaka represents, how do we greet the morning? What is our morning ceremony? Do we offer tobacco? Do we offer, oh crap, I got to get out of bed and do this again? Do we offer, wow, it's another day. I made it for another day. How do you greet the morning? Says Hehaka. Every morning is a brand new day. The releasing ceremony is a 4-day ceremony to help someone heal from traumatic events. Yes, and so Gathering Thunder is helping Betty and the Good Heart Gathering people to raise enough money to hold 2 of these, one in the spring and one in the autumn, for healing domestic violence, healing from domestic violence, sexual abuse, all sorts of PTSD in a good and traditional manner. Yeah, so thank you to all of you that help with that. Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap up this morning. And let me just take a little look-see here in the chat room. Greaser, absolutely. Greaser. This one is for you. Shuffle. I shuffle until I feel like I'm done shuffling. So you're new to the show today. Well, it's good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Oh, okay. It's the Wakiam, the Thunder Nation, the Thunderbird Nation. The Wakiam says that everything that exists has always existed. and it shall always exist, including you. The Wakian also says, thank you for honoring all of life forms. The Thunder Nation watches how we live our life. This morning, Dell and I were talking about sacred objects, and she was talking about the Wakian and why chanupas are usually made out of ash, the stem, because the Wakian blesses that stem. The Wakian is saying to you, Greaser, thank you for recognizing that everything that you see and aren't able to see is an expression of the Creator, is your relative, is sacred, and is holy. Not everybody has the gift of understanding that. Some people think that animals are lesser than us, that the trees are lesser, that one another, there are people lesser. And the Wakian says that's not true. Everything is your brother and your sister. Everyone is your brother and your sister. And thank you for walking the good red road in that way. It's an honoring card for you today. All right. Angel. What a perfect name for this show. Angel. This one is for you. Last card of the day, unless I have forgotten somebody. Oh, it's the Kokopelli. From Native American mythology, Native North America, it is the Kokopelli. The Kokopelli says this is a fertile time in your life. This is an abundant time. Look around you and enjoy the abundance in your life because, Angel, there is more abundance coming your way by whatever means you refer to or look at abundance. We all have a different definition of abundance. This is a card of abundance. And it also recognizes you as a form of abundance in the life of those around you. It's all about abundance. One of my morning prayers is this: thank you for the abundance in my life and for the abundance that continually flows into my life. I say that every day. Thank you for the abundance in my life. And thank you for the abundance that continually flows into my life. And every time I know that I'm being blessed by something, I say thank you. Wo pila, pila maya ye. Thank you, whatever that is. Okay. Polly Joe. Hey, Polly Joe LaBay. You know, Polly Joe, I think it's been a while since you have put in the thread the name of your school and the website for your school there in New England, Massachusetts. Would you do that, Polly Joe? And I will. Yeah. Polly Joe. Polly Joe has a healing center out on the East Coast. And please, everybody, you know, the rule on Tuesday is please, please, please share your websites, share what you've got going on, share your Facebook pages. This is how we get to know what is going on with all of us. Okay. Polly Joe. Also from Native North America, it is the teaching of the Wampus cat. Comes to us from Cherokee country down in the Carolinas. Wampus cat says this to you, Polly Joe. Ancient teachings are being revealed to you at this time. Pay attention. They're being revealed to you in your dream time, your meditation time, your healing time, your prayer time. Whenever that is that you take the opportunity to meet with your soul, your spirit, ancient teachings are being revealed to you at this time. That is the teaching of the Wampus cat, which comes to us from Native North America. Yeah. All right. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're coming on. What time is it? Almost an hour and a half. Holy buckets, everybody. You have put up with me for an hour and a half? 90 minutes? What the hecky? Yes, please, everybody, put in your websites, your pages, whatever it happens to be. Share, share, share. Good morning, Kelsey. All right, Kelsey. I don't know if you can see this one very well. It's the rainbow serpent. The rainbow serpent mythology comes to us from Australia. And essentially the teaching of that mythology of the rainbow serpent is this: it is time for you to come out from behind or out from under the bushel basket. It's time to stand on center stage, and Kelsey, shine your light. Let everybody share in your gifts and your talents and what it is that you do, the gifts that you bring to earth. No more hiding, no more shying away from letting everybody seeing your beauty. The rainbow serpent says, no, shine all of the many colors of the rainbow of you. The other day I was having a conversation with my son, Dane, and his half side, her name is Amber, and he has a nickname for her, and he calls her his rainbow soul. He tells her, you have a soul like a rainbow, part hippie, part, you know. And when I think about that, I think about part of it is because Amber just lets her light shine in all of the spectrums of it, which is pretty phenomenal. So get out there and shine your light. All right. Marianne Molika. Marianne Molika. Marianne and I are working on a project together. I've been sharing some of her photography with my wording with it. She and I are creating a book together of prayers and incantations set to her photography. But what we're really wanting to do with that as well is to have available 8x10s or 5x7s of particular prayers or incantations that are laminated so that, you know, you can have it with you on your altar, above your altar, at ceremony, and your favorite prayers and incantations with her beautiful photography. Again, laminated and full color so that you can have it where you need it. Take it on the go. All right, Marianne. It's the angel IML, the angel of change. IML says, take the leap of faith. Take the leap of faith, Marianne Molika, and understand that the net of love will always appear. When we are taking the leap of faith into our soul's avocation and the work of our soul, the net of love appears to hold us as we grow. All right. Kelsey, yes, please write in there. If you have a website, please do share that right now with everybody. I have a website that I sometimes forget to put in, DeniseIwaniw.com. Tomorrow night on my show, Exploring Sacred, again, I'm going to be talking about our teachers come in many forms. Our teachers come in many forms. Where can you find that? On Facebook and on my page that says Exploring Sacred. Our teachers do come in many forms, and not all of them are really pretty. We'll talk about that too. But with that, everybody, speaking of pretty, your light is pretty magnificent. And you came here to shine it, to stand in it, to exude it. And it doesn't always have to be in grandiose ways. One of the most effective ways of shining your light is to be who you are. Just be who you are. Be who you came here to be. Shine that. With that, everybody, have a magnificent day wherever you happen to be. And I will see you tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, Exploring Sacred with our teachers who come in many forms. Good day, everybody.